Ruby, what's up? How's it going? Nope, I don't. Nope, no throwing knives either. What else do I have? I've got a bunch of stuff. I just need to. We're going to be sharpening this, so. I don't think I could. I've got a ton of Kershaws. That is not sharp. That's not sharp at all. Nice clean edge. Aiden, how's it going? What are you doing up this early? Hey, the chrome plating on this thing started chipping off. Found that interesting. Never had that happen before. That sucks. Well, this one's going up for sale when I'm done sharpening it. I only take Cash App and I only ship to the US. There we go. I can't say I've ever done that before. Oh. I've got a Kalashnikov that's like new, almost. There's some chipping on the paint on the pocket clip, but that's about it. Well, apparently I have some things that are legally considered switchblades as well, but I just don't call them that. So what kind of meat were you getting done? Stupid kind of sounding question, but have you tried carrying them in your opposite pocket. Interesting. Have you tried carrying without a pocket clip? I need to do this again. I carried a neck knife for a while. MDC, welcome back. Well, if you want to try it out, it's $22 on Amazon. You're gonna need a base for it, though. If you look it up, it's called SATC 400/1000. You're gonna need a rubber base kind of thing for it, though. I think those are like $20. So So this base I got from another set, and that set's like $70. So I can't help you on the base side of things. It is D2. Hey Aiden, are you still here? Oh, there we go. Guess what I did today when I was out sharpening stuff? I've had a couple people ask about that, and every time that I look it up, right after I look it up, I forget what it looks like. Probably not super impressed. Nope. I finally wore out one of the diamond films. It's going fine. How about you, fishy fingers? See, I don't know. That's the problem. It was the 1800 grit that I wore out. And I've been using that thing for a bit, so a couple weeks. Live streams where you're fishing in streams. I'm trying to talk them into coming out with a budget version of the diamond set where they sell a set that comes with one of the glass plates, a set of three 500 grit films, and a set of three 1200 grit films for like 45. But I don't think I've gotten any headway on it yet. I That fucking Demco always shakes. That's a good point. Well, it's supposed to come with the base too for 45. My other suggestion was can't talk about my dream knife. I'm about to buy it in like a couple weeks. Then you guys will get content on it. Let's see, where was I going with that? I was also trying to get them to sell just the glass plates with a couple films and the films separately. Because, you know, if they're going to dive into the sharpening scene for knives, we need options. You know, once I sent them that email suggesting that, they never got back to me though, so their marketing manager may be taking a break, or, you know, I don't know. If I were to pick any knife that was on the market that I really wanted, it's called a Giant Mouse Ace Tribeca in titanium and Magna Cut. And it was reasonably priced when it came out, and it was perfect. And then it sold out, and then it came back and it sold out, and I just never had the money when it came back in stock. If you want a Rockstead, you should have a specific one in mind. If you're going to drop that much money on a knife, you got to want what you're buying. And settling for any of them, although they're all quite nice, settling for something you're not sure that you want isn't the way to go when you're spending that much money. Okay. Favorite knife I currently own. My Para 3, my Spyderco Para 3 in not Magna Cut, Maximate. What kind of prices are we talking about? The Tribeca was like $285. Rockstead, I think they're like 700 plus. You want a mini Adira. So I don't use it the most anymore because, you know, I got to swap out every week for new stuff to try out. But it is my favorite knife at the moment. It's going to be a bit until that changes. Mini Adira. That's fair. I guess the ones I was looking at recently were like 700 something. Your little four banger doesn't sound good. Okay, buddy, keep driving. I found one mini Adira on Blade Binge, but it's a gold class, and I don't think you want to drop $1,200 on that. Ooh. So one thought that you might like is, again, you might like it, you might not, putting a lanyard on your knife that is long enough. This is going to sound so stupid, but it might help out. It's long enough to be put on a carabiner, and then the carabiner is on one of your belt loops. I think Shirogorov is one of the first companies I've seen using needle bearings. It's mostly water, but I've changed the recipe a little bit. Let's see. This is going to sound really stupid. A splash of 70% isopropyl alcohol out of one of these. 15 drops of mineral oil, 2 drops of Dawn dish soap, and the rest is water. And the rest is water means 2 ounces of water, roughly. I don't really like bearings, personally. They're just extra maintenance. Especially if you get like hair or something in there. Big, big pain to get that shit out. Harbor Freight sells a decent one for $10. Got a 2.9-inch blade, G10 scales on bearings. And actually, my first video on that knife was when I started getting interested in materials and quality in knives. I don't know what you mean by tacos. Yeah, I've never heard of those. I was gonna say, not that I'm gonna judge, but I've never met somebody who EDCs a taco. So, I mean, it's definitely a choice. Interesting. How much do these things go for new? Well, who said you got to carry it in the pocket? Everybody forgets a fanny pack can be useful. I don't carry one, but you can carry so much shit in there. SOG. Terminus XR. Oh, I thought these were a little more expensive. Oh well. So, like, brand new, they're 55. I'm just double checking that one. Yep. Brand new, they are 55. So, lightly used. I'm thinking 40. And I do free shipping on everything anywhere in the US. Continental US. Gonna be honest, I thought these things were like 60. Never tried shipping up there, but I wouldn't doubt that it's going to be expensive. So, shipping anywhere in the continental United States usually tops out for me around $6. So, I just end up including shipping in the price. My first one of these, I think I paid 45. Yep, I use pirate ship. I do. Setup on the account was pretty easy and I was happy with it, so. Yeah, but who eats cereal in Alaska? And their customer service was pretty decent too, so. I mean, I don't think we even have cereal in the house. So, that's why I say that. So there's one section at the heel of this knife that I won't touch. And the reason why will shock you. Not really. They fucked up the grind. They always fuck up the grind on these things. So right down here where the shiny stuff is, instead of being like the same angle as the rest of it, they sharpened it different. So that shiny stuff and that shiny stuff. When I sharpen like what? I go like this, I get my angle, I push back, and I stop. Then I come back forward. How do I know when it's done? I'll show you. I'm going to make a burr that's comically large, and then I'll show you what that is. Perfect. Yeah, I don't really have that issue. Are you going too fast? If you're moving too fast, I could see that happening, but it doesn't hurt to take time. Okay. Come on, I just need you to focus a little lower. Okay, now I need another flashlight. Or see that really shiny thing right there? So that's on the very, very, very edge. The other side of the knife doesn't have that. So what happens when I'm sharpening is, let me lift this back up real quick. I will take my fingers and I'll push them like this. And if it's smooth, then it's fine, you know? But on this side, I'm going to push them on there and it's going to catch. And that's a burr. That is, that needs to be removed before the knife is considered sharp to me. Now, it cuts paper just fine. But as soon as you do any heavier use, then that burr breaks off and it's no longer sharp. So, to break that off, we move up a grit. Now, normally from 400, I'd move up to like 1,000 or something. But with the current setup, I have another that I prefer more. So we're going to move up to 500 grit. So this right here leaves a really nice finish. But first, I need to remove part of that burr. I mean, I don't, but I would prefer to. How's it going? Michael, welcome back. So that should be actually sharp. Oh yeah. Now we do it a last little bit. Much better. Way sharper than it was. Most definitely. Beautiful. Now let's compare that to something that probably isn't as sharp. About 3 months ago, that was the best that I could do. So try a fast cut. Nope. Issues. And the one I just sharpened. I'm happy with that. Yeah, there's definitely a big difference. The issues that it's having show up quite easily. The fraying on the edge where it cuts, that shouldn't be happening on a sharp knife. As you can see from the cut down below, very little to no fraying versus that just looks like, I don't know, something you'd put as a smile on a jack-o'-lantern. It does. Yeah. That is a great way of explaining it. I might just keep this thing to show people how much I sucked a few months ago. I do try and make educational content sometimes. Warsmith, how's it going? Hmm. So one weird thing about these edges that I leave on them is some people test like this and it catches your thumb when you do that. So it is sharp, you know. Drop it on a thumbnail and it doesn't move. It just sits there on it instead of sliding like a dull knife. To this one. So I shouldn't be able to do that. Anyway, the interesting thing about the edge that I leave behind on these knives is it doesn't feel. I'm very, very lightly touching this. But it doesn't feel like it's going to cut you until it already has. Highly recommend not testing to see how sharp things are like that, but some dude tried that on YouTube and said, "Oh, your instincts won't let you cut yourself with these things." Dude's a moron, but he said that. The best way to start sharpening a knife? You mean to get into this hobby? I have a video in a public what's it called? Playlist. It's a single video from oh, you don't need to sharpen a butter knife. Butter knives were designed to be used for butter. They don't need to be sharp. You picked up the work sharp? Abdullah, what's up? How's it going? Which work sharp? Anyway, if you go over to my channel and you scroll over to where it says playlists, this top playlist right here has a very informational video with a shit ton of views from somebody who's way better at this than I am. Ah. I wish you luck. Not that it's going to be hard to use. Those are pretty easy to use. My recommendation, though, when you're using it, be gentle. You don't need to use a ton of force. I started the stream almost an hour ago. You have a good one, Randy. We'll see ya. I'll be honest, I think people should start with a stone. I just finished sharpening a knife. We could probably do another one. You're not the only person who falls asleep to my streams. I'd guess that there are like 5 people that fall asleep during my streams on a regular basis. You vote that I sharpen another one. Maybe I should just make a poll. Start a poll. Sharpen another Kniffy. Yes, no. Start poll. Oh boy, that was quick. I 100% thought that thing bit me. Oh, I use the factory edge until it doesn't cut paper. No. Wow, somebody said no. That's a surprise. No, I never said that it was supposed to be easy. I just think that you should learn how to freehand before you start messing around with the fixed angle stuff. That way you have a functional skill instead of doing something that takes almost none. And it may sound mean, but I think we should all start, when it comes to this kind of thing, start with the hard stuff. I think everybody should start off with a knife that's in D2 and sharpen on a stone. Well, we got 10 people saying, or 9 people saying yes, and 1 person saying no. So I guess we're going yes. That's not fair. What's not fair? Now, I think everybody should start with a knife that's in D2. So not super cheap, but not super expensive. Oh, you're the one that said no? Yes, but the majority have spoken. They want more sharpening. What do I want to sharpen now? Here's the problem that I run across, right? Every knife in the house is sharp already. I do know how to sharpen scissors, but it's not really fun. Oh, definitely not. I'll sharpen to whatever I sharpen to. Some steels don't like messing around with the high grit edges. Well, that's the plan, unfortunately. The one that I just sharpened, we're going to dull it and then sharpen it again. Actually, I'm selling this one. Maybe not resharpen the one that I'm selling. This one I don't mind resharpening. It needs it. And not by it's dull. I mean, it's sharp. This one had a broken tip. So, sharp. Screwdriver. This one's probably still sharp. Oh, I'm not using a file, no. That removes too much material. Then sharpening takes forever. You'd think that that's sharp, it really isn't. I will never understand. This is all blade geometry. Why it's still cutting. I can. Yeah. But the whole thing's dull. Yeah. I'd never move that fast if it was actually sharp. So this steel doesn't like the DMT, so I'm not using the DMT on this one. I might find another one. Actually, I already have another one in mind. It's 600 grit, but it finishes like 1,000, so I have no clue what angle mine are at. Yeah, I'll just resharpen this thing on the DMT. Yep, that'll work out. Yeah, this is the $20 diamond stone. Y'all are gonna hate me. Mafia Bill, what's up? Okay, so it isn't shaving yet. Sounds like a plan. Should work out pretty well. Every once in a while I change the recipe, by the way, so keep up to date on that. I'll probably have one of these swapping out the recipe like as I move on. There wasn't a huge change between this one and the last one, though, so. Testing. Some recipes work better than others. The more I test, the better I'll get it, and then eventually I just stop testing because it's good. I missed a burr all the way across the whole thing. That's more like it. I just think changing things often to get better results is the way to go. It's not like I'm ever going to make you guys pay for this stuff anyway. You know, the stuff that I come up with will probably always be free. Cool. Shaving sharp. Yeah, it's 600. I just used it to take the burr off, and that was all. I could make it sharper, but I'm not going to at the moment. when I'm done sharpening this one will be up for sale too. Which means I gotta sharpen it properly. That whole edge is toast. So this one we're going to finish on the DMT. Mm-hmm. Much better. So that was before. And that's after. What to do, what to do. Hmm. You know what we could do? My Manix 2 lightweight has developed some rust right there. And we can look at that under the microscope. Right there. Just a tiny dark spot that you would barely notice. And all along here too. But that's the biggest spot. I don't think you're the first person to say that. I'm trying to find a rust spot. Oh, I think that's the one. It isn't. We're looking at a knife blade under a microscope. Oh, there it is, right there. Todd, how's it going? So that's that one rust spot on that knife blade. That right there. Here in a couple days, I'll be done with my rust eraser. Well, I tried a Q-tip. I didn't try a Q-tip with my magic solution stuff, though, so we'll try that real quick. Dark spot right there. Nothing. I'm going to be honest, getting the rust off of this thing isn't my top priority. Keeping the patina intact is my top priority. Now, real quick, I'd like to write down my spray recipe for the week. Uh, 0.5 is pretty high. Yeah, my original spray recipe's sitting here somewhere. I don't know where. So now, before I finish that, I'd like to clarify what I mean by a splash of. Okay, so we got an empty pill bottle here. And a bottle with a pour spout type thing of isopropyl alcohol. When I say a splash, I mean you put it like that, and that's a splash. That's it. Nothing more than that. It really shouldn't be a whole lot. I've got better stones than the DMT. It's not my best one. So when I say a splash on the recipe, that's what I meant by a splash, which is roughly like 80 drops. But who wants to count out 80 drops? Yep, no problem. What did I do? Like 15 drops of mineral oil this time. And 2 drops of Dawn dish soap. So that's the current recipe for this stuff. That's what I've heard about the modern DMTs, which is just disappointing, but what do you do? I've never actually tested an old one next to a new one, so I can't verify that. That is what I use for cleaning and sharpening. Being that it's decently high in alcohol, it could probably be used as a disinfectant, but being that there's soap in there, I don't know if you'd want to use it for that. But yeah, that's what I use to get rid of tape residue, dirt, mud, stuff like that. Yeah, I've been happy with the Atomas that I have. The 140 is just insane. It rips off so much material so quickly. Definitely recommend that one. 600's pretty solid too. The problem with the 140 and the 600 is when I put them under the camera starts autofocusing constantly. So I can't make content with them, but they are a couple of my favorites. I do not yet. I might pick one of those up here pretty soon. Ooh, that means I need to build another PM2. Wonder if eBay has PM2 blades on there. Yeah, I can't afford anything from Veneve. I start on the 140. I move up to the SATC 400. And then I start going with lapping films, personally. I'll see what I can do. If they're cheap enough, I'll just drop by my local DMB and pick one up. Just see what I think. Look, I just want the blade from a paramilitary too. I don't want the whole knife. Mine's an S45, but it's heat treated to like 67. So it's not normal by any means. I went and bought some scales for it, so now I need a set, or now I need to build another one. I mean, I don't need to build another one, but ooh, it cut glass. You have a good one, Fishy Fingers. Yeah, it's extremely high for Spyderco heat treat, but it is a factory blade. Yep, we'll see you on the next one, dude. No, I bought a set of scales for it, so now I want to build another one so that the factory scales aren't just sitting there. See, that's a problem I have, right? I went out and bought a set of Para 3 scales. Okay? Just the scales. They didn't even have these liners in them. So I went out and bought these. 15 bucks. Dude replaced them with some Flytanium scales and then, sold them to me. So I bought them. Then I went out and bought liners. And I went out and bought titanium hardware and a couple of washers. Now I'm just waiting for the blade to show up. And honestly, the worst part about this whole build is it costs about as much as a used Para 3 with a VG10 blade instead of an S45 VN blade, so I'm screwing myself over. But the bright side is I get a user out of it. And it only cost me, I think totaled out to like 110 or something. Some stupid high number for everything that I bought. But yeah, it wasn't a replacement thing. It was just, I want another blade so that I could build another one. Yeah, I might try that. Is there anything you're looking for, Todd? Something to buy by any chance? Yeah, he sells the blems too, which are cool. He just got a new CNC machine. Okay. I was curious because everyone, well, not every once in a while, I try and sell things fairly often. That way I can afford to buy new things and then sell those new things. Stuff like this. It's half serrated. I'm not doubting that nobody wants this thing. Needs cleaned. Other than needing cleaned, it's a great knife. Left a nasty edge on it too. So what do I want to sharpen now? That's not a terrible idea. I should make a Discord account specifically for my YouTube channel. Nope, no knife petting. Oh, but then if I do that, I'm probably going to have to build my own Discord server. I can see that being fun. I'm not really interested in trades. I did one trade, and that's because I thought I was getting a good deal. And I traded for this. See, here's the thing is I really don't want notifications blowing up my phone all the time, you know? I have my personal relaxed Discord, and then okay, so here's actually my genuine biggest annoyance about Discord. As far as I can tell, there's no fast way of swapping between accounts. Right? So with that being said, if you don't log into one of your accounts for an extended period of time, like a couple weeks, they want you to verify the device that you're trying to log in on through email, and that's just annoying. Like, my IP address hasn't changed. Why do you need me to verify through email that it's me still? Well, I didn't say I felt bad about it. I was just saying it's annoying. What to do? I owe one of my buddies some money. Mobile streaming, you don't need a whole lot other than so I've got a 10-foot charger, a 10-foot DeWalt Kevlar laced charger, a tripod, and that's it. Now, if I'm actually going to go somewhere and live stream, I bring a portable battery thing to recharge my phone instead of the wall outlet type deal. But that is exactly how this channel got as big as it did, was all from live streams. Well, sure, it's easier with two phones. I'll agree with that. Some dude thought that I was using a separate mic. And I'm not. I don't even know how my streams sound, to be honest. I never go back and watch them. Frankly, I don't like hearing my own voice, so insurance does not cover certain items. Well, I have no clue, but I'm pretty sure that this right here is stainless. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I'm sitting here messing around with this thing. What phone am I using? It is a... Yeah, I stream from my phone. I don't have enough money to stream from a computer. I don't have enough money for a computer. Now, where was I going with that? Oh, the phone I use. It is a Nord 300. Well, a carbon steel screwdriver would probably be a lot tougher than a stainless one. Woodnator, all of my money goes straight into knives. I don't spend almost any of it on anything else other than gas and food. All spare money goes into knives. I buy and sell them. That's how I get more money. So I've got 2,000 subs and I've never filmed with anything other than a phone. You guys are gonna hate me for this, but my phone is the free upgrade phone at T-Mobile. I do have another job, I'm just not allowed to talk about it, so I don't talk about it. I'm not looking forward to upgrading my phone again. The last time I upgraded my phone, it's because I tripped and threw it at a rocky section in the house. Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad phone. I'm just saying I didn't spend anything on it. If Nokia's had cameras and live streaming capabilities and they were free, then I would probably do that. I need to sell this thing. Anybody know anyone who wants a half serrated Adamas? Probably not, but it's worth asking. It is unfortunately more than 150. It's not a whole lot more than 150, but there's like purple paint in here. Yep, that shit's never coming off. I'm assuming you were interested until I said it was over 150. Honestly, this would be a great knife to put on a plate carrier. You have a good one, Todd. Oh, dude, this thing is thick as hell. I just don't see a point in upgrading if it's not a big enough difference. And then I gotta figure out how shit works, too. I'm kind of just content with how things are right now. Thing's an 1/8 inch thick, actually. Yeah, it's an 1/8 inch thick of crew wear. Interesting. How much are you looking to pay for a paramilitary 2? I think we've determined that I'm speaking from about 9 inches away from the phone, which is close enough for it to not really be a big deal. Except when I'm over in the other room doing something. For some reason, people don't like when I whisper like this. They find it annoying. I said people don't like it when I whisper like this. They find it annoying. I tried doing one of those whisper streams and people didn't like it. It did not do well. So J-Dog, are you just looking for like a bone stock PM2 with no upgrades or anything? I'm coming up with a list. Okay. I'm coming up with a list of knives to look for people. So S30V is a no-go. I would say so, but let's consult somebody that knows more than me. I just want to compare edge retention because I know D2 sucks at stain resistance compared to S30V. 3.5, 5, 4.5, 4, 6, 7.5. So yeah, it's definitely better. Squid Industries. I've only seen one of their things in person. So S30V just isn't as good as S45. $250. Damn. Low hardness. Titanium hardware is kind of pointless. I think it could be better. Let's come up with some reasonable things for me to look for. I don't think I'm going to find one of those. Oh yeah, that's where I would be buying the one that I sell you, to be honest. There's a set that I was looking at, but it's over 300 bucks and I don't think anybody wants to spend that much. A Gerber Gator Kukri. Now wait a sec. Oh yeah, no, I can't help with that. This one? Red guy, welcome back. Dude, you're gonna get put in timeout again. This is a SOG Terminus XR. In D2. It is priced at 40. Para 3 in Maximate is my favorite knife so far. I think utility knives have their uses. Same one as usual. Citizen Garrison Super Titanium. One of my buddies really wants one of those. I don't think he wants to pay full price for it though. Yeah, my box knife right now is this one. Manix 2 lightweight. Well, you've seen better days, haven't you? Oh, he wants the OTF. He just thinks it's cool. I think their new knife is fairly reasonably priced. It's in aluminum, so it's a lot less expensive. I think there's a couple out the front utility knives out there. Well, I'm broke, so I like the cheap stuff. I guess they're sold out of that aluminum one. It depends. It really depends. I'd like to say yes to that. The problem I have with saying yes to that, it's not always true. I think I might end up getting one of those Redention drop points. $85. I don't like aluminum, but I don't know. Whatever shall I do? It's been a 2-hour stream so far, and I really don't want to stop right now. I need something to do. Is there anybody interested in a Kershaw Blur? Probably not. How's this thing holding up? Play with it for a good little bit to see if it'll loosen up the screw. How's the edge on it right now? Ew. We can do better than that. We're going to sharpen this one. I wonder if chat broke. Oh, okay. Okay. I think we can just step up to the 1000 and leave it at 1000. I own a couple guns, yeah. I can't show them on stream, unfortunately. YouTube doesn't like people touching firearms in their live streams. But I own a Savage Mark II FVSR and a Marlin Model 60. And if all my money wasn't going into knives, then I'd be putting some of it into guns. Originally, I was going to make a YouTube channel about guns. Nope. Handguns are significantly more expensive than their rifle counterparts. At least the stuff that I like. That's a lie. I will agree with that. I haven't gone out shooting in a bit. I need to find some 22 ammo that doesn't suck. Well, it's 600 and I'm not happy with it. So I guess we're stepping up because this thing's being a turd. Hey, a hair. Can I shave hair with any of the knives that I have? Or, y'all know what I meant. There's a burr on the wrong side, and it doesn't make any sense how it showed up. Sure, you can ask a silly question. You wouldn't be the first person to do so. How about the mini Adonis? Yeah, for some reason, I'm not surprised that the mini Adonis can whittle hair. So I don't think that I'm the person to answer that question for you. Can it whittle hair both ways? Nope, just one way. I haven't sharpened any 15V yet. We'll be doing that after the cardboard live stream. You know you don't have to delete the questions, right? Well, the stuff that I used to use was like the dirtiest stuff on the market. And it was Thunderbolts, Remington Thunderbolts. Hair whittling sharp. But only in one direction. So the mini Adamas is not double hair whittling yet. But I'm pretty happy with it as it is. So I'm looking for cheap stuff, right? I don't remember what I have right now that I've been using, but Thunderbolts were fast, like high muzzle velocity for a 22. They were the cheapest shit around, and they were consistent. But the last box of 550 that I got, the consistency was just dog shit. I'd have like 6 or 7 that hit dead on every single time, and then one of them would hit like 2 feet low at 100 yards, and that's not acceptable. That's too far off. Well, what's the serial number that you got? Abdullah, welcome back. I don't think I have a solid answer for that question. So consistency, I want cheap but consistent. I'm not super worried about velocity, to be honest. But the Thunderbolts were great for how cheap they were until they went with the new ones, and then they're just shit. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I plan on shooting apples off of people's heads, but you know, if I wanted to be able to do that, I can't do that with my current stuff. I highly recommend not doing that. I know CCI mini mags are good, but they're spendy. I gotta find more of the Thunderbolts in the old box. This is terrible steel. Well, sure, I'm only talking about range ammo. I'm not talking about like any advanced stuff, you know. I want consistency. No, it's just a rifle. I would probably carry 22 just because it's a weight thing. You know, I don't want something that's going to pull my pants down. My first was a Model 60. It's a great rifle. I don't know how you're supposed to hand load a 22, to be honest. Or custom load a 22. Like, it's a rimfire cartridge. But yeah, the new box of stuff that I got is yeah, I don't want twice the cost. I want like what, 8 cents a round? 8 to 10 cents a round. The super safety or the one that's right after that I don't know anything about? 14. How much is a box of the good stuff? The Thunderbolts is what I mean by the good stuff. Remington Thunderbolt. Hey, nope, never mind. See, they had an old box that looked different, and the old box actually had really good consistency. This is the old box, and the new box looks like that. So this old box, these ones had really, really solid consistency with no duds. But the new boxes were just dog shit. The worst consistency I think I've ever gotten out of a bullet. Because usually, it's... you might get like an inch or two off MOA at 100 yards, no problem. And that's not a huge deal right there. But when it drops like 2 or 3 feet, because it's not everyone in that box. It's like, you get through like 5 to 7 that were decent, and then one of them was just, it thumped like 2 or 3 feet low. And I only went through one box, I'll admit that, but maybe it's the superstition in me, but I just don't like the any chance of an inconsistency like that. On the off chance that I need that rifle for food or something, I know, severe bullshit right there, like, but you get what I'm talking about. If I need that rifle to work and it's hitting 2 or 3 feet low at 100 yards when I need it to hit accurately, that's not good enough. Oh, but they're cheap and blah, 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 blah. I don't think I. No, I know I don't like Glocks because it feels like a Nerf gun. Honestly, I'm probably gonna move away from. I really don't want to get rid of my Model 60, but I'm thinking about getting either a Ruger American in 5.56 or a there was a CZ that was in 5.56 as well. And the reason I'm picking 5.56 is because then I get two ammo options with the same barrel. 5.56 and 223. And because it's a bolt action, it's probably not going to give a shit. Use steel case all I want, it's not going to do anything. Yeah, exactly. That's why I want one chambered in 5.56. I don't want one in 223, even though it's a more common option. I want one in 5.56 just in case. I think every AR in the house is 5.56. I don't think we own anything chambered in 223. Well, I'm fine with that for that rifle specifically. I mean, the gun itself is going to run me like 700 anyway. And what, in a range day, I'm probably going to use like 30 rounds. When I'm going 22s, I go through like maybe 200 in a day. So that's like 16 bucks. I'd be more than happy to go through like 20 rounds, just one box. So I got it sharp now. It seems like the thread locker is doing its job now. I think I've made a decision that I'm getting a Ruger if I'm going to get a handgun. There's a specific one that I want if I'm going to carry, and it's a 22, but it holds like 15 rounds. No, I have two rifle options that I'm going off of. And both of them are bolt action. So most 9mm are too heavy for me to carry. And when I say that, I mean I don't wear jeans. I don't wear anything that accepts a belt, unfortunately. So I'd have to wear something that won't pull my pants down, which is where 22 comes in. The one I have in mind is fully polymer, and I think I'm not wearing shorts. My legs look pasty, dude, and I don't need people seeing that. Catch a charge for blinding people. Seventeen and a half ounces. The one I'm looking at is Ruger SR22. It's small and it weighs just over a pound. And I can get an extended mag for it so it holds 15 instead of 10. All right, you have a good one, Woodinator. I'm thinking about ammo weight as well. That SR22 is comfortable. I think that was the second thing that I was worried about, other than weight, was how comfortable it was. But I need to do a shit ton of testing with one of them because I don't want a chance of it failing on me. Because when you need it most... Yeah, this thing is it's under an inch wide. And it has an aluminum slide, not a steel slide. To be completely fair, Jim, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care what anybody says. Getting shot with the 22 is still going to hurt. Is there anybody in chat who thinks that it would be a great idea or would be comfortable? Well, sure, one or two might not stop the threat, but 15 plus one might. Probably just 15. I'm not sure if I'm carrying one in the chamber or not. Yeah, but I'm not going to drop $700 on a pistol like that. Actually, I think they're more expensive now. I can agree with CZ. We've got a few of those. That's fair. I would agree most of the time that carrying with one in the chamber is the best idea if it's a hammer fire. And if you own a P320, you shouldn't be carrying that at all. I wonder if they make 22 rounds that tumble. What do you guys think about that? The tumble upon impact rounds? I think 5.7 is the most invasive projectile that would come out of a reasonably sized pistol. 44 Magnum and 44 Magnum in general just doesn't fit in daily life for the most part. If you ask me. I was thinking tumble upon impact projectiles because then it's not just one hitting one spot, it's hitting one spot then going somewhere else. I think I can put it safely this way. At the moment, I don't carry anything. So I think a 22 is better than nothing. I think most people would agree with that. It's not that I don't want to, I just can't afford to right now. I don't think I've ever shot anything in 10 millimeter. 45 is fine. The problem with the compact and the subcompact 45s is they don't carry anything. You get like 5 to 7 rounds, and I'm not the best with pistols, so at any distance I'm going to start having a little bit of trouble. That's why I prefer rifles. And here's what I mean when I say I'm not the best with pistols, right? I'll be aiming for center mass at. So we don't do regular training. We train at like 10 yards or something, which that's a decent distance. I think 6 to 10 yards is where we train. But I'll be aiming for upper chest and I'll hit you in the nuts often. So, not great. I don't know. I've tried a few different things, and frankly, so most of my shots hit like a foot radius, and then there's always just the one that's like in the balls on accident. Like it happens a lot. Well, same thing happens with the 9 millimeter too, but um, what was it that we did? I went out shooting with my dad, and he handed me the gun. He did the same thing with my mom, where he didn't put anything in, right? And he didn't tell you that. He said it's ready to go. Go ahead. And when my mom pulled the trigger, she anticipated it and cocked her hand down a little bit, and I didn't do that. That could be a thing. Muscle fatigue could be a thing. Then again, the ones that we're practicing with, it's normally 9 millimeters, and the one that I play with the most is like 44 ounces or something. It's heavy. Give me a sec, I'll figure it out. All right, how much does this bad boy weigh? Come on. Forty-six and a half ounces. Empty. We'll see what I can do next time. I always shoot a little bit low when it comes to pistols. Not terribly low, but a little bit low. I think that that's a lining up the sights wrong problem, not a stance thing. But the what, a foot low, foot and a half maybe low, that's definitely not a lining up the sights problem. I mean, how much does a 9mm weigh? Let's see. So we shoot 150, no, we shoot 124 grain. So, or 115. We'll just say 115. 0.263 ounces times 18. So that's another almost 5 ounces. I don't think you should sharpen them any differently, other than being that it's probably got a bigger lift up towards the tip. You're going to need to lift your elbow more than a kitchen knife. Other than that, you should sharpen them the same. I've noticed that the larger the knife, the more you have to section it off. I think everything above 5 inches, I do sections. Where I do like, I'll go like this, back and forth, and then I'll move up and continue, and then I'll move up towards the tip. And then as I'm coming to finishing, when there's a burr across the whole thing, I use the whole length of the blade across the stone all at once, or all in one pass, to clean up the edge so it looks better. Oh yeah, I don't use honing rods. I don't have any of those in the house. I finish everything off with a strop or a lapping film and then a strop. Precisely what we did here, by the way. Yep, no problem. Tell you what, it's nice having people that actually like the content that I post. For some reason, I feel like that's not a common thing, but you know, I wouldn't have 2,000 subscribers if none of them liked what I did. So Sometimes I just have to stop tearing myself down so much. KYI. KYI. How's your day going? I'm assuming all the regulars are probably going to go to bed right about now. No, this one's the elevation. We're going to do an edge retention test on this thing, but I've got a feeling that it's garbage, so we'll do that on a live stream, and then in the same live stream we'll be doing edge retention testing on the Manix 2 lightweight. Yep, always happy to provide information when I have it. And if I don't have it, I tend to look it up because I don't want to be wrong. Part of the honesty side of things. I never did the Boy Scouts thing. I highly doubt that I could survive in the wilderness. You got a good point. If I was doing figure nines, I'm sure the edge retention would be better. Dude, solid point. Why didn't I think of that? Nobody's gonna get that joke, by the way. It's like you, me, and Johnson, and that's it. I don't think anybody else was there for that. I don't really want to explain it to anybody either. It was kind of funny, but oh, so you were here. I didn't know Jim was here for that too. I've been doing this for 31 years. Good for you, dude. You know what sucks is I can't tell if I can't tell if that dude was a troll or not. Cause he shows up like once every 3 or 4 weeks. And then I've done that. It was the coldest water I think I've ever drank. Like, it was the middle of winter. But yeah, without a gun. Oh, I don't live in Florida. I live in Idaho. A lot of the water here is snow melt, so most of the water here is snow melt. Oh, that's funny. I could survive for a few days just fine. That right there is how you get cholera, though. At least I think that's the right one. Yeah, just look at the people that live there. What was it, Katy Perry that said that? There must be something in the water. I need to write out a will. Thought about that the other day. With the fake Spyderco. I haven't built the fake Spyderco yet. I don't have the blade for it. I'll agree. Dude, there's more than just something in the water in Florida. Let's be real here. There is no way that there's that many people that are. How do you explain that? That special in one place. Man, she didn't even make it into space. Bullshit. Did they pass the Kármán line? Let's look that up. Yes. Oh yeah, because I'm gonna believe that. Oh, we've got scorpions, spiders, and capital punishment too, but anyone want to guess how long her mission lasted? Mission? By mission, I mean paid spaceflight. Dude, I'm a landlocked state. No, I don't have sharks. Actually, wait a sec. Anyway, her space voyage lasted 11 minutes. Whoop-de-doo. Nope, we don't have sharks. We have bears, though. Ooh, Arkansas. I've been to Arkansas before. Most nuclear submarines come from my state. Bet you didn't know that. Oh, yeah, sure, you have them, but we build them. There's a difference. I live in Idaho. We have an ocean port in a landlocked state, and we build and ship out nuclear submarines. Okay, yeah, we didn't have that. I think I'm going to go for another 9 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and end it at 3.5 hours. Thought I heard that sonar could kill somebody if you were close enough. I don't know what specific knife you're talking about. It was loud in the video. That does not narrow it down, unfortunately. So it looks like the most tragic thing that has happened, or one of the most tragic things to happen in Idaho, was the Bear River Massacre in 1863 when the U.S. Army attacked a Shoshone village and killed 500 people. The Teton Dam collapse in 1976 when the Teton Dam was filled for the first time and then broke and caused a flood that killed 11 people and 16,000 livestock. The Great Fire of 1910 was a massive wildfire that burned 3 million acres across northern Idaho and western Montana. Eastern Montana, dumbass. No, wait. No, yeah, west, obviously. And parts of Washington. It killed 87 people and burned several towns. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I never finished that thing. This one. Nope, I need to do that with sandpaper. Here we have to worry about cancer and drunk drivers. The leading cause of death in Idaho is heart disease and cancer. What knife do I carry the most is a great question as well. I don't have a great answer for it, but I think at the moment it's the Spyderco Military. It's been my offhand carry for a little bit. I like it. I need to sell some more stuff. If I want to be able to afford the stuff that I want. You're in Arkansas. Are you looking for a knife? And do you have Cash App? Oh, that's fair. One fixed blade. I'm taking my SE5 and one folder. I'm taking it's a good 3.5-inch folder. You know what? I'm taking my mini Adamas. What kind of OTF are you looking for? Fair enough. Not interested in out the side knives? I mean, it also depends on what your budget is. Yeah, I think the mini Adamas is a good folding knife choice for that. Something I wouldn't mind abusing. It's the same thing with the SE5. I don't mind. Or no, I don't have an SE5. I have a Rat 5. That's what I meant. So a Rat 5. I'm gonna be honest. This thing's gonna handle so much more than a Spyderco will. This is a mini Adamas. I think it's an 1/8 inch thick of crewware. Do you want an OTF? What's your budget for an OTF? I did not know that, but they do make good knives. I've been happy with both my Rat 1s, my Rat 2, and my Rat 5. Squeak. I swear I'll get this chair fixed one of these days. God, OTFs just aren't easy to find in my area. And I don't want to sell you some garbage, so I'm not sure what I can do to help you with that one, if I'm honest. Uh, uh. Oh. I want a Walker Monument from CRKT. Be sure to look up whatever knife you're looking at elsewhere, like on eBay and stuff. I would also like one of the new Walker blade locks. Did you not get one that was Cerakoted? This one's got gray Cerakote. Actually, this one does too. Squeak. Oh, interesting. Nope. I have never touched an Adira. $250 is a lot of money, though. Not as much as I'm about to spend, but still, that's a lot of money. Ew, it's half serrated. Gross. I say as I have a half serrated one of these on here. So, is that Snekomo? Is that how you pronounce that? If you have one of these and it's rusting on the edge, the way to prevent that other than oil is it'll help prevent it. It won't completely prevent it, but a high polish edge should help. Anyway, yep, I think I'm going to go ahead and go for like another minute and a half and then I'm done. But you go ahead and enjoy whatever you're going to eat and have a great night or morning. Well, that's interesting. Yep. I've got a few Civivis. A few that are up for sale, too. Where's my other Civivis? Guess they're in a box. My knives suck. Oh, my feelings. Oh. Oh no. Somebody that I've never met before thinks that my knives suck. However, shall I go on? Anyway. Somebody asked if I had Civivis. I showed off a couple Civivis. Is there something you saw on the table that changed your mind from thinking my stuff sucks? Dude, why do you keep on deleting your messages? Yep, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, morning, day, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one.